Welcome to my next Better Call Saul Season 4 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching Better Call Saul, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen Better Call Saul all the way through one time. I actually was binging it until I got caught up with episodes of Season 6, which I did review episodes of Season 6 on this channel. So if you want to see those, and you've seen all the episodes, you could click right here with about 20 seconds left to go to the video. That'll be the end screen and the link to my Better Call Season 6 content. And if you want to see my Breaking Bad content, episode reviews, rankings, and all that and more, you can click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. But I'm a big fan of Better Call Saul. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's at least top 12, and let's be realistic here, it's probably number 6, because there's 5 shows that I really, really like, but this very well could be number 6, and I wanted to share all my insights with you. So join me on the journey, and let's discuss Better Call Saul. So with all that said, this will be Better Call Saul Season 4, Episode 4. The title of this episode is called Talk, and this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we open up in a flashback to, like, I don't know what time it was, early 80s or maybe late 70s or something like that. A young boy watches his father pour cement in a driveway. The father allows the boy to sign his name in the wet cement, revealing them to be Mike and his son, Maddie or Matt, respectively. The scene abruptly cuts to Mike at Stacy's support group, which he has apparently been stunned into silence. He coldly states, "You wanted me to talk? I talked." A car drives to an abandoned motel and a man, Diego, steps out with a bag. Diego walks through the motel, which serves as a compound for the Espinosas, a competing drug gang to the Salamancas. He is allowed into the gang's lair, which one of the Espinosas takes a brick of cocaine out of the bag. Diego returns to the car with cash and tells Victor the delivery is done. Jimmy gets a call from CC Mobile, a cell phone retailer, and is offered a job as a shift supervisor for their location in uptown Albuquerque. Jimmy turns down the job, saying he's had a change of plans. Later, while Jimmy is shaving, Kim gives him the contact information of a therapist and urges him to talk to someone, presumably about Chuck's suicide or Chuck's death. Jimmy lies to Kim about taking the CC Mobile job. After she leaves, he calls them back to say that he has reconsidered and will take the job. Kim observes a pre-trial hearing and is asked by Judge Benedict Musinger to visit him in his chambers. Musinger gleans that Kim is trying to rediscover her love of law and tells her about a family that is suing a hospital over a botched childbirth that left the mother brain damage. Kim realizes that he is describing the plot from the verdict. Musinger tells Kim that the cases he deals with every day are much less glamorous and career-altering than the ones seen in movies, advises her to stick to Mesa Verde, and warns that he will put her to work as a public defender if he finds her trolling in his court again. Taking the judge at his word, Kim defiantly returns to the courtroom and continues watching the hearings. Mike is solving newspaper crosswords at his favorite diner. Anita steps in and approaches his booth. That's the lady from the meetings. During their conversation, she asks him to befriend another member of the support group, Henry DeVore, who relates stories of his dead wife named Judy. Mike says that Henry is making up Judy, pointing to the discrepancies in his story about their proposed first kiss at Wrigley Field. When Anita expresses disbelief, Mike advises her to look for Henry to give a tell, rubbing his wrists when he talks about Judy at the next group meeting. The two agree on a $10 bet to whether he does so or not. Jamie begins his job at CC Mobile, but quickly becomes bored when no customers show up. He takes a call from his new boss, Robbie, and asks to be transferred to a store with more foot traffic, only to be told that all of the company's other positions have been occupied. With nothing else left to do, Jimmy begins throwing a rubber ball against the storefront window to pass the time. Nacho and the cousins watch a silver Camaro similar to the car Nacho described as having ambushed him and Arturo pull into the Espinosa compound. Nacho comes up with a plan to use a couple of Salamanca crews for a night assault, but the cousins choose to act immediately. He watches as they kill the guards and enter the compound with guns drawn. A massive off-screen gunfight erupts and reinforcements for the Espinosas arrive. Nacho, of course, still injured from being shot by Victor, reluctantly joins the gunfight. Coming up from behind, he kills one of the Espinosas. Inside the compound, he finds that the cousins have slaughtered almost everyone. Nacho prepares to rescue Lionel from a couple of gunmen who have pinned him down, but Marco appears and kills them instead, despite having taken a bullet to the left shoulder. Lionel retrieves the cocaine delivered by Diego earlier in the frame, them for the ambush, and the three leave the scene. Nacho informs Gus that the Espinosas have been wiped out and that the cousins have gone south until the heat dies down. Nacho verbally submerges that Gus engineered the situation to his advantage, destroying the Espinosas with the exception that the cartel will give him their territory. Gus simply tells Nacho to get some rest as he has more work to do. Stacy recounts her day with Kaylee, saying that she has realized that she has started going about her daily routines without constantly thinking of Matt. She expresses fear that this means she will forget details about Matt in life, which visibly affects Mike sitting next to her. Henry begins talking about Judy and rubs his wrist, just as Mike predicted. Eventually, Mike can no longer contain his anger and accuses Henry of lying about Judy, pointing to more inconsistencies in his stories and challenging him to show any official record that she ever existed. Instead of denying it, Henry leaves the meeting. Mike then turns to his ear and the rest on the group, saying that they're all doing is feeding on each other's misery. The scene ends with Mike saying his line from the teaser, "You wanted me to talk? I talked." Nacho's father, Manuel, arrives home to find his back door open. Inside, he finds a bandaged Nacho sitting in his living room. Manuel moves to call 911, and he does call them because they answer, but Nacho tells him it won't be safe if he does so. He reassures his father that he's okay and asks if he can rest at the house for a while. The following day, Mike is performing another security check at the Madrigal warehouse. When Stacy tries to contact him on his cell phone, he ignores the call. However, he is forced to take a call from Victor, who says that Gus wants to meet with him. Jimmy leaves CC Mobile and drives to a construction business where Ira is performing his legitimate job stocking vending machines, who Ira, of course, was in Season 5 of Breaking Bad, one episode, or was it two? When Ira hands Jimmy the proceeds he collected from selling Mr. Neff's Hummel figurine, Jimmy is surprised to find out that the captor has yielded more returns than he expected. Ira invites Jimmy to approach him again when he finds another job and tells him to contact him through Caldera with a new phone when he does, saying, "You never know who's listening." Struck by inspiration, Jimmy returns to CC Mobile and paints the message, "Is the man listening? Privacy sold here," on the store window. After dark, Mike drives to Los Porros Hermanos factory farm. Gus, flanked by Victor, Tyrus, and other bodyguards, confronts Mike with the knowledge that he was aware of Nacho's plot against Hector Salamanca and did not act to stop him. Mike counters that he agreed to not kill Hector Salamanca, but never agreed to keep others from doing so. He further realizes that Gus has actually summoned him because he has a new job, and Gus to state point blank what it is. And that's what ends this episode of Better Call Saul. So I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10. My characters of the episode are going to be Mike and Nacho. And yeah, it was good, but it's a little slow. This season's been a little slow thus far, but I feel like it's going to pick up big time. I can't remember what happens, to be honest with you. I don't remember what happens in the finale of the season. I don't. Anyway, you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Better Call Saul and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider smashing that like button. If you like Breaking Bad, do it as well. If you like El Camino, do that as well. Don't forget to don't forget to share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Now, don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Better Call Saul. What would you rate the episode? Who would you choose as characters of the episode? Anything else that you want to add? Remember to click right here for my Better Call Saul Season 6 review videos, assuming you've seen all the episodes, and my Breaking Bad playlist will be right here. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, Sugar Damn Support, and be a part of something special, and you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.